Good morning, everyone. I am, excuse me, Lisa Robson, and I apologize. We'll probably hear ovens going off in the background because I am at work and we're just trying to send lunch out the door. So I do apologize for that. I am the owner of the Evergreen Catering and Bakery here in Thief River Falls, and I'm honored to be here and to be asked to speak this morning about my business and my entrepreneurial journey I have taken, or maybe I should say the journey that I am on today. On Friday, June 18th of 1993, I was married. And Monday, June 21st, 1993, my mom purchased Lawns Bar and Pub with Diana Granny Josephson. Because the business was financially stressed, they changed the name and decided to give it a fresh start in the community and named it the Evergreen Eating Emporium. I was asked to come to work for them, but as far as being put on the payroll, that may be tight, and so I agreed to work for tips that I made during each shift. It was a very scary venture as I had worked in retail and service industries in the past, but fine dining and no guaranteed wage. I was a bit nervous in the new venture I was about to take on. I knew that the leadership skills I had behind me would teach me exactly what I needed to know to be successful in this fine dining atmosphere, and I was right. I had many bad days and cried many tears trying to learn the service and taking customers' comments and critiques and learning from them. One day I decided, you've got this, Lisa, and I was not going to let others win my battle. I made my share of mistakes along the way, but for the most part, loved the people that I loved the people, and I like to make them feel special, and that started at the front door. I was always told that people do business with people they like and the people that make them feel special, and they were right. My repeat customers who requested me as their server grew, and I felt as I was moving forward in the start of my journey. Albert Einstein once said, and I've kind of lived by it, imagination is the preview to God's coming attractions. In 2009, my mom called DigiKey Corporation to see if their employees would like some type of meal to be served to them during their shift, and if they had space available for us to set up a small line for employees to go through. They agreed that this would be a great benefit to their employees and agreed to try it. 21 years later, we are still within the facility in 2 locations within DigiKey, and we have also added Articat/Textron Corporation and a food line within their company. If we hadn't trusted our gut and made the phone call, we would not have had the opportunity to grow as a company. This growth has helped the restaurant during slow times in keeping the business going. In 2011, I decided to purchase the business from my mom as she was getting ready to retire. I made many sacrifices in order to accomplish this big step, but felt in my gut again that it was the right thing to do. Some of the steps included paying off and canceling all my credit cards to ensure that I would not get myself into debt, and I sold my Suburban to have money in the bank in case of a slow month and was not able to make my payments. With that being said, the business grew. I was fortunate and counted my blessings. My hard work was paying off, and it didn't come with more decisions that needed to be made. Now I was out of space. I needed to figure out if I was going to add on to my existing building or build new. I decided to go ahead and build new with my future in mind, that if I ever decided to sell, it could remain 2 separate businesses. In 2014, a new building would start that would be the new home of Evergreen Catering. At that time, I had a staff of 42 employees at Evergreen Restaurant and 9 full-time employees at Catering. My plate was full. I am a perfectionist at heart, and I had too much responsibility to handle on my own. I felt that if there was not always, I felt at that time that if it was not always better that I could not do the job that I wanted to do or to be done. Another tough choice was ahead of me. I had to let something go. In 2018, I decided to sell the Evergreen Eating Emporium and focus solely on the catering at DigiKey and Articat. In fear that one day DigiKey Articat would no longer need my services in our ever-changing world, I decided to start a bakery as a side business. I had the staff and expertise to guide me through this venture, and so in November of 2018, Evergreen changed its name one more time to the Evergreen Catering and Bakery. At the bakery, we would have fresh baked donuts, rolls, breads, and goodies. Along with that, I was able to package the meals that we were sending out for catering and sell them individually to customers that came through the door. This has been a very welcome by the community. And again, I am thankful I stepped out of my comfort zone and was able to be guided by my dreams. A couple of things in closing that I have had many people in my journey that have always been there for me with words of advice, constructive criticism, a hug on a bad day, and just sharing stories within their journey, and that some worked and some didn't. I believe that in this business, we need each other, whether we are selling the same thing or on opposite ends of the spectrum. If I can, I want to help others achieve their goals, just like those in my life that I have had help me along the way. With all of this, I believe that it is very important to have a mentor. I would like to sincerely thank my mentor for always being there for me through thick and thin, sharing my excitement and my sadness. He listens to me with no judgment and also sets me straight and gets me back on track. I have always had room for improvement, and my mentor makes sure that everything goes the way that we need it to go on a daily basis. I think one more thing in closing that's really important, and I thought about it when Blake was talking, is I've always said, once you find a passion for something, you'll never go to work another day in your life. And I truly believe that what I'm doing, I am passionate about. So I guess that's a little bit about me.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was just awesome. So questions for Lisa.
I don't have a question. I just have a comment. I follow your social media, and I just have to say I love your pictures. Every time I see your photos, I get hungry.
Do you?
I love it.
Good. Thank you. I have outsourced all of that. I hired that done. It is a girl that works here, but I don't know anything about social media. I can scroll it, but that's about it. So yeah, she does a great job, but thank you for that.
And a follow-on question to that. I too have had my mouth watering looking at those pictures. Has that been how effective has that been for you? You know, what do you hear people saying? They see them, or they're coming in, they saw it. Do you think
it's been very good, and you can tell when you run a picture of something that we've made just for that day, people will come in asking for it that day. So you can kind of get the feedback or the judgment. So, and I love to see the comments come in. I love to see like all of that, the interaction with people in it.
Great. Other questions?
Well, I have a comment for you, Lisa. You just changed your logo again. I absolutely think that's a great logo. Tell us what went into making that decision on changing the logo after all these years.
Well, there was a little bit. I thought with COVID, COVID was probably the first thing that I thought about. I needed to give everybody a new look, a new perspective, a new, you know, because I think that a lot of us are in slumps in what we're doing. And so I thought I would try to rebrand a little bit, possibly. But also with COVID, I am moving forward, and we are touching in on the coffee line. So we are now adding, you can buy bulk coffee here. We're getting machines set up. So we'll be able to do the lattes and frappes and all of that type of stuff. So I'm excited about that new venture. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I struggle with it, but I have to trust all of those around me in making the decisions on that. But I'm excited, and we do have coffee here. I have partnered with Bully Brew Coffee out of Grand Forks, and they roast all of their beans local. She is a strong woman in business, and I've learned a lot from her as well. She is also a instructor at UND, and she teaches marketing. So anyway, it's been exciting to like venture in a new line as well.
Yeah, when I hear your story and all of the things that have happened over the years, one word comes to mind, and that's flexibility.
Yep.
And I think that is the secret of success for many entrepreneurs, that they're flexible and understand openings in the market, new opportunities, and they seize upon those. And you've been a great example of doing that and doing it well, doing it successfully. So
And that's a lot of things that don't work too. So I mean, that's there, but you can't let that scare you. You just have to always look ahead, because I don't know what tomorrow will bring. So
yeah. So I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Blake. If someone was coming to you and said, "Hey, Lisa, I'm thinking about starting a business," what would be the top, I'd say 1 to 3 things you would say you would make as suggestions to that person?
probably number one, I would say find a mentor. Find somebody that that is like non-judgmental, that shares their journey with you, stands behind the decisions that you want to make, with the pros and cons. Be open-minded. It doesn't always, it always looks good on paper, but when you're actually in the real world, it doesn't always go that way. So keep an open mind, and trust your gut. Absolutely trust your gut, because most of the time it's telling you that you need to do this. And if you're passionate about it, it's no longer a job.
Yeah, we did have a comment come in from Terry. He said passion is right on. And he's wondering if you have a storefront at the new building for walk-in customers.
I do. I'm actually located on Greenwood. It's 1302 West Greenwood, which is, and everybody's gonna laugh at me, I'm not good at my directions, but it's next to Northwest Beverage, and I'm across the street from the new DigiKey building. So if somebody can help me out with my directions and give exactly where that is, but
I think all you have to do is roll your window down and you'll find your way there with the smell.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mike tells me you have some awesome peanut butter rolls.
right. And we do deliver. So if you need them, we will set them on your doorstep, and we can do it with no contact, or however you want to do it. So if you're quarantining, give me a call. We'll make sure that you're fed. So
Awesome. Other questions for Lisa or comments?
So I know you guys are closed Saturday, Sunday. Do you guys do something or resell to another vendor for your rolls? I'm sure you have some rolls that are unused. I noticed that a couple of the other, I think Hugo sells at the Holiday. I've noticed they have the same rolls. Do you guys have any resale places you work with?
yep. I do deliver to Petrol Pumper, and I also do to Cruise In on a daily basis. And then St. Bernard's Church gets them for their Sunday rolls. Pre-COVID, I was doing there. I would love to, and we are truly entertaining doing some shorter hours on Saturday and Sunday, but it's been a staff issue. When COVID first hit, I lost 7 employees that decided not to return back to work for whatever reason. And so I have just been working with the ones that I have here and trying to be flexible with their schedules. And so I just could not push weekends on them. It almost takes a whole nother staff to do weekends. So, but I am always in town. I am always here Saturdays and Sundays. And so if you do need something, it's always a good idea to give a call or shoot me a text or something, because I can make arrangements that we can be here to get that for you. A lot of people, if they have larger orders that they're not going to use until Saturday, I want to do it Saturday morning so that it's the freshest going to them. So typically I'm here, so we can make arrangements for that.
Great. I think Jared, you had your hand up. So did you have a question or comment?
Yeah. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Jared.
I was just going to mention that more of a comment. I just like the fact that, you're not, you have a current situation where, let's say you're in DigiKey or Textron, but I like the fact that you plan ahead, like, okay, tomorrow, what if they said you can't serve in here anymore? You're always thinking ahead about, okay, well, here's a fallback plan, for that. I think that's really cool. It's important for a business owner. And then also too, just kind of ties back to Blake as well, but just like common theme of just the mentorship, it's a lot of it's just about relationships, and just that, to me, that's a common theme between your two is having, keeping those relationships, having somebody to bounce things off of. And I think that's really important too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And actually Blake and I like work together. Like if I hear something, I'll say, hey, Blake, or I mean, not good or bad, indifferent, but like, hey, you should jump on this, or you should, so I think it's super important that us as businesses within the community all work together. I mean, that's what builds our community. That's what makes us strong. To some factor, you need to be competitive, but I think that at the end of the day, it's more important to work together and not be that competitive edge against each other. Just work together. So
Yeah, I like that. I think that's what Trek is all about. And we're really just kind of helping to build that entrepreneurial culture and that support network. So hopefully we can just strengthen that.
Right.
And one of the other things you touched on was mentorship. And I'd like to see us, maybe figure out how we can do a better job of maybe, building more of a mentorship framework in our community, so that people, can reach out and find somebody, because sometimes that isn't easy. Obviously it happened for you. You were able to find somebody, but we want to make sure that those that are just getting started and maybe could really benefit from having a mentor, that they're able to find one. So hopefully that's something we can figure out and build out as well.
Yep. It's super important. And it's not even somebody that you want to talk to. Well, I love to talk to mine on a daily basis, but you don't need to talk to them on a daily basis. I mean, but you're excited to share with them your achievements as well as your tough days. And I mean, it's just that person. And yeah, I'm super fortunate for mine. So
yeah, awesome. And we have time, like maybe for one last question or comment.
Well, one comment I was going to make, and it's going to sound weird coming from a guy, but since I've had a daughter, I've noticed this stuff more. I'm just really proud of you and how strong and proud is the wrong word, but just I'm excited that our community has such strong women leaders. For someone like my daughter to look up to, I think that's really important. And I think Thief River has really strong women leaders, and I do think that you're one of those. So thank you.
thank you for that.